Magandang gabi mga kabarangay. Ah, Nabasa po natin sa balita na ito pong si Secretary Bello of the Department of Labor is advocating for the abolition of the bar exam and board examination for nursing, engineering, so forth and so on. So, ang ibig pong sabihin, ayon kay Secretary Bello, dapat alisin na itong bar exam sa abogasya at itong board exam para sa mga nursing. Kung itong mga estudyante na to ay nag-graduate sa mga schools na accredited naman ng CHED. Well, of course, samot-sari ang mga reaction dito. Pero ang tanong po natin, tama po ba dito si Secretary Bello? Well, of course, sa atin pong palagay, may katwiran po si Secretary Bello. Bakit po? Sapagkat una, the passing of the bar exam and or the passing of the board examination is not a guarantee na talagang magaling yung nakapasa. Karanasan po natin sa maraming pagkakataon na marami pong mga hindi pasado sa board at sa bar exam, pero magagaling po. Nagkataon nga lamang na hindi sila nakapasa for whatever reason. So in other words, kung ito po ay tatanggalin, hindi nangangahulugan na mawawalan na ng quality ang profesyon, sapagkat the fact na sila ay nakagraduate sa ganong kurso, it means na kahit alam na nila o mayroon na silang mga basic knowledge about the profession. Inuulit natin, passing the bar exam or passing the board is not a guarantee that in fact magagaling na yung mga pumasa na yon. Although of course, ang common reaction dito ng mga katulad yan, immediately mismo yung Association of Nursing ay nagpahayag ng kanilang pagtutol. At ganon din dito naman sa bar exam mismo yung, I think, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Well, of course, natural yan sa kanila sapagkat there is that feeling of superiority. The fact that they have passed the bar exam already, the board exam. So, mayroon silang feeling of superiority compared to the non-bar passers or non-board passers. But of course, that feeling of superiority is more than a belief than a reality. Yan po yung ating paniniwala dyan. Paniniwala po natin. Kaya sa tingin po natin, mayroong katwiran si Secretary Bello. Sapagkat more than anything else, to a certain degree, ito pong mga board exam na ito at itong bar exam, they deprive the opportunity for those who do not make it the opportunity to practice the profession, simply because passing of the bar or passing of the board examination is a license for them to practice the said profession. So kung hindi ka makapasa, kahit magaling ka, you are not allowed to practice for lack of the license for the purpose. Katulad din po yan nung NCEE ni Marcos nung araw na you cannot enter college without passing the NCEE. Marami pong, there were a lot of students who were not able to enter college simply because they failed the NCEE. So afterwards, yun po ay inabulis sapagkat marami talaga ang nawalan ng opportunity na makapunta sa college dahil lamang sa hindi pumasa sa exam sa NCEE. Kaya po tinanggal yon at dumami naman nakapunta sa college. In the same way po na maraming mga tapos ng abogasya, tapos ng nursing, tapos ng engineering, na hindi rin po makapag-practice of the profession simply because they have no license since they were not issued license due to the fact that they have not passed yet the requirement for the issuance of license, and that is the bar exam with respect to the profession of law and the board examination with respect to other professions such as engineering, education, so forth and so on. Naulit po natin na we support this advocacy of the Secretary Bilyo because as we see, it is more of a belief than a reality na pagpasado ka sa bar o pasado ka sa board, magaling ka. Meaning, you are worth practicing the profession, samantalang yung hindi pasado, hindi worth, they should not be allowed to practice. In effect, it deprived them of their opportunity also to practice the profession after they have graduated from the course. Although admittedly at this point in time, medyo mahirap pa yan i-argue sapagkat mismo yung mga nasa profession, mismo yung mga associations, halimbawa yung Association of Nursing of the Philippines, posibleng itong halimbawa IBP, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, posible ding mag-oppose. So mismo ang kalaban mismo for this advocacy is no other but those people who are in the professions themselves na nakakapag-practice na due to the fact that they have issued license since they have passed their respective board examination or bar examination for the purpose. Kaya medyo mahirap po isulong itong advocacy na ito ni Secretary Bilyo. But we believe that Secretary Bilyo has the sound reasoning on the matter. Kaya niya naisip ito sapagkat una, dapat lang. Pangalawa, he has that sympathy to those who have not made the bar exam or the board examination. Inuulit po natin, hindi ito magiging dahilan upang magkaroon ng upang bumaba ang quality ng nasabing profession. On the contrary, we even believe na because there would be many people to practice, even if not because so long as you can graduate, you can already practice. So yung kakulangan sa mga nabanggit na profession ay mapupunuan ng marami. So ibig sabihin dito po, makakatulong magkakaroon ng volume of practitioner relative to these professions. Kaya po, as a Secretary of Labor, alam ni Secretary Bilyo na it can boost the economy, it can boost uh, the professions themselves. Lalo na po itong panahon na to na we are in the process of economic recovery after this COVID-19 pandemic, which we do not even know when to end. Di pa natin alam kung kailan to magtatapos. So, hanggat sabi nga ng iba, bukod dito, maraming mga variant na naglilitawan pa, which goes to show na magtatagal pa itong problema na to. So, there is a need for more nurses, there is a need for more doctor, there is a need for more people to get involved in the practice of different professions. Kaya nga lang hindi makapag-practice because of the board or bar passing requirements. Kaya naimungkahi ito. This could be one of the reasons why Secretary of Labor proposed this abolition of the bar examination and other professions such as nurses and engineering and other profession on the matter. Perhaps even including education. Bakit nung araw wala namang board ang education for instance, pero hindi naman bumaba ang quality ng education. So ito nagpapatunay lamang na abolition of the board exam or the bar exam will not be a ground for the degradation o yung bumababa yung quality ng professions. So, inuulit po natin, sinusuportahan po natin at sana magkaroon ng dynamic thinking itong mga different professional associations na sabi nga natin mayroong superiority thinking over their colleagues who are non-passers of the board exam or bar exam. So we hope to find support from these professions with respect to this advocacy of Secretary Bello. Pinapaniwalaan po natin na tama po at maganda pong policy yan. So, we congratulate Secretary Bello for advocating this, for advancing this advocacy of abolition for the bar examination and the other board examination. So, sa ibang balita po, we salute the fallen heroes of the C-130 na bumagsak po sa Paticol, Solo. We rest assured po na your death would not be in vain. The Filipino people look at you as heroes of the times for sacrificing your lives in the performance of duties. So, we salute you, fallen heroes of the C-130. Linggo lang po ito bumagsak yung C-130 plane crash in Patikol, Sulu. Marami pong sundalo ang namatay dito at marami din pong sundalo ang na-injured because of this plane crash. Again, our condolence for those who have given their lives for the cause of serving the people and country. Marami pong salamat sa inyo at ipinatid po natin ang pakikiramay ng sambayanang Pilipino. Marami pong salamat sa inyong kagitingan, mga magigiting na sundalo ng bayan. Kaugnay pa rin po sa balita ang halalan. Well, dahil malapit na po yung filing, that will be on the first week of October. At tayo po ay July na. So, August, September. It is about more than 2 months to go. Kaya ngayon po ay nagpupurmahan na yung mga probables. Halimbawa po, medyo nagiging asertibo na yung Lacson for President and Tito Soto for Vice President. Sa Trillanes, nag-ingay na naman by alleging plunder against the President himself and Bongo. Ito pong pag-iingay na to ay una at tempo ito ni Trillanes na mapag-usapan siya sa media, malagay na naman siya sa limelight. At pangalawa, an attempt also to malign, sirain ang credibility ng ating Pangulo at ni Bongo. Bakit? Sapagkat po nagpapahayag si Pangulo that he is now considering seriously. In fact, ang sabi niya, ito rin na siyang kandidato for the Vice President. Sapagkat kung hindi ka kandidato si Martin Romualdez for Vice President, most probably tatakbo siya as Vice President. Ngayon kung tatakbo po si Pangulong Duterte as Vice President at assuming na hindi tumakbo si Sara, most likely ang magiging president ang presidentiable niya would be Bongo. Sapagkat sinabi na nga ni Pangulong Duterte na kung tatakbo siya bilang Vice President, dapat yung presidente ay magiging kaibigan niya para so that he can work with him. As Vice President, he could work with the President. At ito naman ay sinabi noon ni Bongo din na kung tatakbo lang siya ng presidente, kung si Pangulong Duterte ang magiging Vice President niya. So with that, kung hindi tatakbo si Inday Sara, mukhang mabubuo yung Go Duterte team. Kaya naman ito si Trillanes ngayon pa lang naglabas na naman ng mga aligasyon na di umano ay sangkot sa katiwalian plunder itong si Duterte at si Bongo. Pero alam naman natin na ito si Trillanes ay parang aso ito na kahol ng kahol. Wala namang basihan yung mga pinagsasabi niya. Kaya plain trash, basura. Pero at least by what he is doing, napapag-usapan siya. So somehow, sa tingin niya, nakikinabang siya sa mga ganitong ginagawa niya, allegation of corruption against the President Bongo. Although to our minds, mas lalo lamang siyang nasisira sa mga ginagawa niya. Kaya we believe it is to his disadvantage. Mas lalo siyang nasisira habang marami siyang sinasabing mga kasinungalingan. Itong Pacquiao probability, ang tanong po dito, tatakbo ba si Pacquiao talaga? Well, sa tingin po natin, determinado si Pacquiao, believing, as Trillanes also believe, na that because of his money, mananalo siya. At mukhang magiging Pacquiao Binay. Malapit-lapit na yung, kumbaga, yung pormahan na yan, Pacquiao Binay yan. Hindi si Nancy, kundi si Jejomar, yung tatay, ang magiging posible. Ito namang may isang grupo na nagsusulong kay Yorme, yung I Am Pilipinas. Ang tanong dito, tatakbo ba si Yorme as president? Well, nakikiramdam si Yorme. Kung sa tingin niya ay maraming susuporta, pwedeng tumakbo. Pero as president, with perhaps Grace Poe as vice president. Pero at the moment, we believe na mas kinukonsidera ni Yorme ang re-election for mayor in the city of Manila. Mas tingin natin for mayor sa Manila, medyo sigurado pa siya. So palagay ko hindi niya basta bibitawan yan. Hindi niya bibitawan. Wala naman kasing medyo mabigat na kalaban si Yorme sa Manila so far. Wala pa tayong nababalitaan. So, sigurista din naman tong mama na to, kaya mukhang magme-mayor na lang sa Manila ito. Ngayon, si Sara ba tatakbo talaga o hindi? We believe so far at this point in time, Sara will run as president. At sino yung kanyang vice president? Pamimilian yan, including her father, si Digong, si Gibo, or perhaps si Bongbong Marcos. Kung tatakbo si Sara, pamimilian niya yung tatlong presidentiable na to, Bongbong, Gibo, si Digong. Ang problema lang dito, kung papayag si Bongbong Marcos. Kasi sa tingin po natin, si Bongbong Marcos ay desididong magpresidente. Although minsan parang nagsalita na to si Bongbong na kung tatakbo si Sara, willing siyang mag-vice president. Well, sana ganon ang mangyari. Pwedeng mangyari yan kung pipikapin ni Sara si Bongbong Marcos. Pero parang mukhang prepared ni Sara si Gibo Teodoro as vice president. Mukhang believe ito si Sara kay Gibo. At ito naman si Gibo ay willing. In fact, nagprepresenta na siya. So, ang question na lamang dyan, kung tutuloy si Digong, palagay natin po, honest assessment, kung tatakbo si Sara, hindi si Digong, baka mag-giveaway si Digong sa sino mang pipiliin ni Sara. Or kung hindi pipikapin ni Sara si Martin Romualdez, para hindi sumama ang loob ni Martin Romualdez, baka si Digong na lang ang mag-vice president. Kasi si Martin Romualdez, ang sinasabi niya, hindi siya tatakbong presidente kung si Digong ang hindi siya tatakbong vice president kung si Digong ang tatakbong vice president. Pero kung hindi si Digong ang tatakbo, tatakbo siya. Pero ang problema diyan, kung hindi siya maging choice ni Sara, that would be the problem. Although, whether pick upin si Martin Romualdez o hindi as Vice President, yung partido, MC, yung Lakas Inyo City, susuporta pa rin yan sa hugpong. In fact, marami ng mga malalaking partido na nakikipag-alyansa sa hugpong and endorsing even the candidacy of Sara Duterte. So, ano pong ibig sabihin yan? Talagang mapipilitan because of endorsement. Mukhang, and we believe na mapipilitan si Sara na tumakbo as president. Kung tumakbo si Sara as president, whoever will be his vice president, sa tingin po natin ay mananalo. Mananalo po. Kahit sinong kalaban. Itong mga, although sinasabi ni Lacson, ni Drilon, na kayang talunin ni Leni Robredo si Sara. We don't believe. Ngayon po tungkol sa isang bayan. Yung isang bayan na to, o one sambayan, with curfew. Hanggang ngayon po, wala pa silang mapiling standard bearer. Una, sapagkat katulad ng sinasabi natin noon, even the chosen personality among the oppositions, chosen personality by the isang bayan, ayaw sa kanila. Tinoturn down sila. Bakit? Kasi, una, wala namang pangalan itong sambayan. Kumbaga, yung kanilang manok, the fact that you are the standard bearer of this sambayan is no guarantee that you will win. Wala rin naman silang pera para gumastos. So, walang pumapatol sa kanila. Pangalawa, yung kanilang sinasabi na ang purpose ng isang bayan is to unite the opposition and to come up with one standard bearer for the opposition against the Duterte. That cannot be done because the opposition personalities chosen by the sambayan walang paniwala sa kanila, kaya hindi pumapayag na ayaw mag-give way. So, ibig sabihin, kahit may napili ang isang bayan, assuming, tatakbo pa rin tong ibang mga opposition na to na inimbitahan nila at umayaw. So, in other words, watak-watak pa rin ang opposition. Comes 2022 election, most likely ang mangyayari dyan, there will be 5 presidentiables and 5 vice presidentiable. So, naulit natin, ang resulta ay yung DDS supporters solid behind Sara. Yung non-DDS, yung ayaw kay Duterte, yung mga oppositionist, magkakahati-hati yan for the other 4 presidential candidates and also about 4 vice presidential candidates. At itong mga non-Duterte na 'to, itong mga opposition na 'to, they could just be about 40% because the majority of the voting populace definitely goes with President Duterte, goes with Sara Duterte. Kaya ang mangyayari po diyan, lahat ng nasa opposition ay magiging talunan. Now, pagdating naman po sa senatorial candidates, baka maulit, most probably maulit po yung karanasan ng Otso Diretso. Maulit po yan. Kung medyo meron man pagkakaiba, a matter of slight difference, na kung dati 0 ang Otso Diretso, ngayon ang opposition senatorial slate, pwede silang out of 12, pwedeng may pumasok na 2 the most. Yung 10 will be with Inday Sara. Yun po ang magiging ratio dyan. And most likely, so senatorial, pwedeng 10-2 or baka mag 12-0 in favor of the Duterte's ticket. So on the while po, wakasan natin ang ating talakayan ngayong gabi. Inaanyayahan po natin ang ating mga tagapakinig na i-subscribe po ang ating YouTube channel, ang ating paninindigan sa napapanahong isyu ng lipunan. Muli, magandang gabi at marami pong salamat.